Hope you're doing very well today. Going to run through the markets. We're going to talk about futures first, then we'll hop into Forex, and then crypto, and then let you guys get on your way. Hopefully today I don't get off on any sidebars. My plan is to be focused to take care of some of these outstanding items that have been on my to-do list for a while. So let's get it going real quickly here. Let's start over in the futures side of things. We'll have a look at what's happening in the E-minis, gold, and crude. And over here, what we can see is starting at the top left-hand side over here with E-minis. Yesterday pushed to new all-time highs, and we're kind of hanging around this 3360 area here. So new all-time highs in the S&P. We do have some news coming up today. We have here at I think 10 o'clock, is it? Just check the news calendar. Yeah, actually 8:30. I thought it was 9 o'clock. That might have been moved, actually. I'm pretty sure this was scheduled for later into the day initially. So actually right now, Mr. Powell should be speaking, and he's going to have a few updates and comments about what's happening with the Fed's position on a few different things. One of the big ones will be potential impact of the coronavirus. So we'll see what comes of that meeting. I'm pretty sure this was initially scheduled for 10. I could be wrong, but I really thought this was scheduled for 10 o'clock, and it must have gotten moved. Anyway, neither here nor there. Always good to check news again before you get started with your trading day. So anyway, we've got that going on today. We'll see what happens. Obviously, the trend is still up on a 4-hour trend. We talked about that yesterday. 4-hour trend was up. 30-minute trend yesterday was down. That great lesson learned. I got a little caught on this one yesterday. I always say don't get tied to a direction, don't get tied to a trade, don't get tied to a trend, and I did. Yesterday, my brain had a bias that was just convinced that the ES should be moving shorter on some of this news that's out there, and as a result, I did not get to participate in all of this fun that occurred yesterday off of a key level. It could not have been any more textbook than this, but at any rate, my bias kept me away from it. That's why I always say it's easier said than done. It's so easy to say, yeah, I know, this my trading plan says it comes to a key level, I take that trade and I let it do its thing. I didn't do that. I got caught up in a bias thinking this should be moving back short. Sold it off of here, off of 33.25, and sold it again off of another level up here, 33.40 up here. That one, could have picked up some ticks, but I held on to it longer than I should and ended up not getting to capitalize on it. I was hoping it would come back down to 33.25 to retest that, and it never did. So again, the lesson from that is stick to your plan. Even though we all form biases, it's perfectly natural. Try to put them aside. Recognize when you're not doing it, right? Put them aside and trade with the charts tell us to trade. So again, long and short of that is the trend is still up, and we're pushing to all-time highs right now. Do pay attention to what comes from this announcement from Mr. Powell here. That could potentially be something that pulls us back. But even if it does pull back, right now the market seems to be overall shrugging off any of the news out there and the full impact from what's happening in China. So and around the world, by the way, it's not just happening in China. Anyway, let's move on from that. So over here on crude, 4-hour trend is still down. We're still looking at a downward trend on crude. 30 minutes crossed over a little bit here on the 30-minute, and it seems to be moving a little bit higher. It's been hanging right around this 50 area. We seem to have found a pretty good level of support here at 50. Now, again, I said this yesterday and many days before. Does that mean it can't go lower? Absolutely not. It just means it's found some support here. It could certainly break 50. It certainly could. It did for a couple of days. It's broken below 50 and moved down to 49, I think 49.80, 49 and a half, somewhere around there. 49.70. Yeah, 49.5 yesterday was the low. So anyway, it certainly can go lower. Don't. A lot of folks are saying oil's hit its bottom, but they said that up here at 60 as well. So don't get lulled into that. Oil can certainly move lower, and the trend is down, and we have to consider that downward trend until it actually changes and is confirmed on a longer term. Short-term stuff on a 30-minute, like I said, the trend is starting to change. The preferred trading method here would be to let it pull back to a key area, let it pull back to a key level like 51, 51.5, and then sell off of that if it does push higher. So we'd still be looking to sell crude on this one. Gold, over here, gold's trend is still up. It's stalled out a little bit on that move, and it's been hanging right here in this channel. 1575 is certainly an interesting number for us to look to continue to buy gold, and we'll continue to look at that until such time as this trend changes on a higher level. All right, so with that said, let's get that out of the way. We'll bring up what's happening over here in Forex. And in the Forex side of things, we've got some movement. The pound is our big mover again. Pound is pushing to strength as we come into this morning. We've got some weaker currencies. We have the Aussie, we have the Euro, and we have the New Zealand. So we've got a few currencies against the pound that are looking a little like opportunity. I do have a trade here on the pound versus the Aussie. I'll bring this up. And pound versus the Aussie. Coming into this morning, we were sitting around 115 pip range for the day on an average of 150 to 160. So looking at that and weighing it against others, weighing it out against the pound versus the New Zealand or the pound versus the Euro, which one had the most opportunity to continue to move that additional 20 pips. Pound versus New Zealand, I didn't really see the opportunity there. We'd moved 80 pips on an average of 50, so that one seemed a bit ranged out to me. And looking at the pound versus the Euro, or Euro versus the pound, that one as well looked, here, let me just pull that one up real fast. That one as well didn't look like it really had as much opportunity. Today we've moved 30 pips, average is about 50. It's close. Could it certainly move to the full 50? Absolutely. But which one had more opportunity to it? And I felt like the pound versus the Aussie had a bit more opportunity, so I chose to do the pound Aussie because we had quite a bit more of potential in that trading range right there. So again, very simple trading method, very simple trading process. Don't have to put a lot of time or a lot of thought in it. We're coming into the morning, we're looking at which currencies have the strength, which currencies are weak, and pairing those two, the strongest currencies versus the weakest currencies, and also taking into consideration what's happening with current ranges, what's happening with our volume details, so on and so forth, just to see if we really have true opportunity on the ones that we're picking. And if we do, go ahead, enter the trade, and let the trade do its thing. It'll either move for you or it won't. I mean, there's no guarantees with it. It's just giving us that best opportunity for a potential movement, and hopefully at that point potential profit. But again, obviously no guarantees anywhere. So we take the one that has the best opportunity, and that's what we've done here. As we can see, once that clicks in and it keys in the trade, as that trade moves in our favor pip for pip, we see risk being ratcheted off. So right now my risk is about half of what you don't see that. So right now my risk is about half of what it was when we first started the trade. So if this continues on, great. If it reverses here, takes me out, I've lost less than I was willing to risk on that. So good stuff there. What's happening over here in Bitcoin land and Ethereum land, crypto land? Well, yesterday we talked about key levels. We had identified 220 as a key level here on Ethereum. We identified 9,800 as a key level over on Bitcoin. Price had broken those levels previously, pushed higher, and now is coming back to retest. So we're obviously seeing opportunities here where we're retesting these key levels, and now it's pushed on. The trend is still up on both of these. There's a lot of momentum behind them, And we're coming to some key events in Bitcoin pretty soon that could create that parabolic move that we had seen back in 2017. So we'll see and continue monitoring these. Preferably, we don't want to chase trades. The preferred action would be to buy on pullbacks. So if this pulls back, we'd like to buy it. Of course, you can still look at those breakout opportunities. I've talked about that before. Sometimes breakout trades are easier on the psyche than trading a bounce, simply because it provides that level of confirmation that many traders are looking for. It's hard to set a buy order in the face of a big red candle. So breakout trades are a nice way to go. And if you're looking for a breakout opportunity, at this point, we'd have to be really patient. You might look below on Bitcoin, below 9,700. If it breaks below that, look to sell it. And then if it breaks above 10,000, look to buy. So a pretty wide range there, but certainly from a breakout perspective, that could be an interesting opportunity for you. And here on Ethereum, looking at breakouts, we'd be looking to break below that 2017, 2016 area, probably 2017, just to tighten it up a little bit. Break below 2017 and breaks above 2025. Dang it, 225 would be the opportunity to the long side. You could go as high as 228 and see if you get some opportunity there to break out of that channel and take it in one direction or the other without obviously without knowing what's it going to do, but it gives you the opportunity to trade with that confirmation of that breakout. So that is what we're looking at there. I haven't refreshed this today to see if we've pulled any back on this or not. Yeah, so still pushing forward here on, in fact, let me take that screenshot real quick. Still pushing forward here with the beta test on Crystal, which again, I've mentioned is a beta, and it is something that's not readily available to everyone yet in the marketplace. It's a project that a friend of mine's been working on that should be released here in, I think, about a month or so. That'll give it a solid 6.5, 7 months of live testing on his side, and then another 2 months or so of folks like myself that are close friends that are beta testing this. So as soon as that's ready to be released, I'll certainly keep you guys posted and let you know how it's going to work. My guess is it'll only be available outside of the US because it is an auto trading system, and I think there's some regulations here in the US that will prevent it from doing what it does for US clients. So that there'll be a different version available for U.S. clients, and we may, and I don't know what this is going to look like yet. I won't even provide conjecture for it. The other program that I've been looking at here, and will probably be doing something with my friend out of Austin, the programmer. I mentioned yesterday. He's been a friend of mine since 2010. He's programmed a lot of the scanners and dashboards and things that you've seen on the market for various people. He's the guy behind the scenes that's done that programming work, and he has a foreign exchange trading and a crypto trading. It's a software system. I was going to say a bot, but it's not a bot because it doesn't trade for you. But what it does, it's a software that goes out and analyzes many points of data, hundreds and hundreds of points of data, really thousands of points of data over time, and finds the best trading style, trading method for specific instruments, and then allows you to future forecast what's happening with the next bar based on what's been happening. So it's continually learning. Every time you click the learn button, it goes out and it learns. It looks at the new data it's collected and then applies that and looks at many different types of strategies and then finds the one that works best. And based on the one that works best, it provides you with what to do next. Do you, on the next bar, what do you do? Do you hold? Do you do nothing? Do you sell? Do you buy to open? What is it? It's not a scalping system. It's the lowest level you can go on. Is a 1 hour time frame. I think it works best, in these 1 hour, 4 hour daily time frame areas. But certainly looks like it's doing what I would like it to do. And as I mentioned before, I'm really looking for ways to automate more of what I'm doing. I've got some automation already with the crypto, with my friend's platform, but looking for ways to automate that myself as well. And if we can get this, continuing, I want to get some more live testing behind it before I put it out there. But it looks like it's got some really, really good potential to be something that I'll get behind and promote here. As a make money from your laptop brand. So that's looking pretty interesting as well. The way it came about, just again, I said it yesterday, I'll reiterate it today. He and I were talking because I've been looking for a programmer to recreate the dashboard. The dashboard that I had used previously, for years previously, in trading foreign exchange. And as we were talking about that, the question came up, well, what are you really trying to accomplish? And that's where we started going down this path of looking at these neural networks and things that allow machine learning. And he's been programming this stuff for, God, I can't believe it's been 10 years that I've known him. He's been programming these neural networks for years and working on machine learning. That's his specific background, and in the financial niche. So it's a very, very, very select parameter of programming that he does. So really interested in what he's accomplished here and what he's been doing and using in these my computer's going crazy, what he's been doing over here in this realm. So really excited to be able to bring this to you guys as we get further into learning about how it works and how it functions and everything. So it'll be my replacement for that manual dashboard. It'll take the guesswork out of it. So anyway, that's it for now. Have a great day. We talked about futures, what we're looking at here. Just to reiterate that for everyone, the trend is still up. So we'd be looking to buy pullbacks if it does pull back. If it doesn't pull back, just be careful. Don't get that fear of missing out and try to chase the market. What the market's going to do, what the market's going to do. Let it do its thing and then trade accordingly, which is a good reminder for myself as well. Crude downward trend. We're looking to sell pullbacks over here in crude, and gold, we're still on an upward trend, looking to buy gold as we have opportunities there. All right, so that is it. And yeah, I don't think we need to hit the Forex side of things or anything. So we talked about Forex. I've got a trade on over here. I don't know where it went. Well, anyway, we talked about Forex, what we're looking at, why we're trading it, what trade I have on presently, and everything else. So I think we've hit it all. That's it. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.